Hello, sports fans. This is some breaking news out of Cincinnati. This is Hilltime Sports, and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins have signed 4-year contracts. The first 2 years are guaranteed for T. Higgins, who becomes the highest paid wide receiver 2 in NFL history, with $115 million in that contract. Secondly, Jamar Chase becomes the highest paid non-quarterback with the $160 million contract for 4 years, $112 million guaranteed. Now, how does this affect the Cincinnati Bengals? In my opinion, it doesn't affect them when your defense is ranked 25th in the league with 348.3 yards per game against and 53 touchdowns. On the passing defense, they were ranked 21st with 223.5 yards against, with 30 passing touchdowns against them. That's not really a recipe for winning, and they did miss the playoffs last year, so I'm going to get to that once we read off the rest of the stats. Now, for the rushing defense, they were actually ranked, where were they ranked? Let me see. They were ranked number 19, 124.8 yards per game against 20 rushing touchdowns again. That's not very good. That's actually near the bottom of the league. Scoring defense, they were pretty bad, weren't they? They were 25th in the league. Also, 25.5 points against and 53 touchdowns. They were 25th in the league out of 32. So, not very good. Red zone defense, they were 30th with 67.9 conversion for the other team. They were allowing 68% scoring in the red zone. Third down defense, I'm just going to go through 23rd, 42%. And then if you go to their, defensive sacks, we are going to go to their offensive stats because their offense wasn't ranked that badly. They were actually ranked, let me see if I can find it. Let's see. They were ranked, 6th in passing? Was it 6th in yards and then 6th in yards, right? Let me double check. They scored the 7th most points per game at 27.8, which is pretty good. Yards per game, they were 9th, 365.5 yards. And then they were points and then yards per play, red zone scoring. They were 5th in red zone scoring at 63.93. Rushing, they actually ran the ball second to last. They were 31st in rushing attempts percentage, 35.19, which is pretty darn bad. They were 21st in rushing yards per rush. Rushing yards per game, they were 92.6 yards per game, which is 30th in the league. Now, when you think about the Philadelphia Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, and all those other teams, you need to be able to run the ball to compete in this league. Otherwise, and this is where I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals, they have basically turned Joe Burrow into Dan Marino, in my opinion. They're like, we're going to put it on your back. You're not going to have a good defense. You're going to have a crappy running game. Now, with Dan Marino, his only 1,000-yard rusher was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Not that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the one from the NBA, but a different guy. He was the only player in Dan Marino's career that ran for 1,000 yards. They've basically stripped away everything else, and I think you should have traded off one of those receivers, in my opinion. Get some picks out of them, get a solid defense, get a good running game, and I think they would have been better. But no, they chose that they're just going to go all in on the passing offense. And I think teams are going to figure that out very quick. They need to figure out their defensive situation and their running game situation before I think they would be competitors. Some people even say that the Bengals' only chance to win the Super Bowl was in 2021 when they lost to the Rams. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. This has been Hilltime Sports. Have a good day.